is only tangentially related to fragrance in that I will occasionally refer to something that is a product that includes fragrance. No, actually, so I just wanted to do this video that is probably just going to be me like doing like whatever comes to mind or just saying whatever I'm thinking of regarding PR or public relations gifts, essentially, and kind of tell you about some of the PR that I've been offered that I turned down because I turned down the vast majority of it. And then just kind of talk about why, I suppose that is, because sometimes people are, curious about it or don't like that some people get PR. And I do accept some PR. And if you've watched my videos before, you will know that I have accepted some free fragrances. Also, sometimes there's just some perfumers who they don't even ask me. They just have my address because I've purchased from them before and they'll send me things, which I'm very grateful for. But these are also people that I have some relationship with and I would probably say yes to anyway, even if they did ask. But anyway, yeah, I'm already rambling. That's probably what this video is going to be like. But I want to go through different types of PR that I've been offered. I'm not going to say any brand names, although maybe some of them will be kind of obvious, but I'm not going to say any particular brand names, but I will just talk about different types of PR that I've been offered that I have turned down and just say why. So to make this just a tiny bit about fragrance today, the first category of PR I want to talk about that I've turned down every single time is PR from clone houses. Now, if you like to purchase clones and use clones, that's fine. Again, I think if you've watched my channel for a while, you just know I don't, right? Like I just don't buy clones, I don't use clones. And so it wouldn't make sense for me to accept them as PR either because I don't want them, right? And, like I'm totally fine with other people having clones and using clones and all that good stuff. That's fine, I don't care. Just personally for me, I'd rather have something original or something that somebody put some creative effort into. And yes, of course, like there are a lot of designer quote unquote clones out there because some sort of style of fragrance gets really popular, or also sometimes it happens that there's sort of like simultaneous invention, kind of like how like Newton and Leibniz both came up with calculus separately, but at a similar time period. So kind of like that, right? Like just because two fragrances smell similar doesn't mean that the perfumer of one actually smelled the other. But basically my point is I'd rather have something that is not a blatant copy of something else because I like the artistry behind fragrance and I appreciate craftsmanship. Now, yeah, do a lot of companies charge way too much for their fragrances because of marketing and packaging and whatnot? Sure, absolutely. We all know that. But still, to me, and just kind of with my preferences, I don't buy clones. And so of course I'm not going to accept PR from clone houses. So that's kind of the first category. And then the other fragrance related category is just simply fragrances that I am not interested in. And it could be for a variety of reasons. In one case, there's a house that I've been offered fragrances from that I just can't support their house or their brand because of some things that I've seen that I personally perceive as being slightly racist and insensitive. But either way, just I'm not interested, right? Like I no longer wish to own anything from that brand. And because of that, I don't want anything for free from them either. So that's just like a little bit about why I might say no to fragrances. Occasionally it's just like the house or the fragrances they're offering just don't sound interesting at all or sound like something I wouldn't like. And I also say no because of that. But usually most of the PR I get offered in terms of fragrance is clones, or are clones. And so that's why I turn most fragrances that I get offered down. Occasionally I get offers from other places that I, will say no to. But I mean, I have accepted some, like I said. You all know Daniel Gallagher is very kind and he sent me several things, even though I also have purchased several things from him. Same thing, Mason Darius has sent me a few bottles, but I've also purchased from him previously. I got some stuff from Roja, but after I didn't give a bad review, but like didn't give it a glowing review either and never heard anything else. So I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I've accepted some, but not a lot. Now, although I have a channel that is solely dedicated to fragrance, I would say by far the vast majority of PR I get offered is not fragrance, which might be shocking, maybe not. But I just want to talk briefly about some of these things and just, I mean, it'll be pretty clear why not. This is not going to be a super long video probably, but so I've been offered a lot of beauty products, which I can kind of get, right? Like fragrance is within the beauty industry. And so I can kind of get when I'm offered beauty products like skincare or makeup or I don't know, hair care, stuff like that. I get offered those things sometimes, but I don't talk about those things on here. Like I think, you know, maybe I've talked about a scented lotion before. I don't even know if I have. I've talked about candles because I also really like candles. But yeah, I don't really talk about any other type of beauty product on this channel. Do I use them? Do I enjoy them? Yes, of course. Like I buy plenty of makeup and skincare and hair care. And so like I said, I kind of can understand why companies might reach out. But at the same time, this is just not what my channel's about. So clearly they haven't watched any of my videos, right? Like if they had, they would know I don't do anything that isn't fragrance on this channel. So that's another sort of category of things that I'm offered frequently. Another category that I've been offered quite a bit are like clothes and accessories. So like there's one brand that's always like, oh, we'll send you all these silk tops and stuff. And I'm like, that's lovely. I don't talk about clothing on my channel. Or jewelry or I don't know, other types of accessories. There's several jewelry companies that have offered me free jewelry. And again, my channel's not about jewelry, it's about fragrance. And so I say no. Some interesting things that I have been offered are just like kind of random stuff, like just random Amazon products. I'm like, what? Like, where did this even come from? I've been offered colored contact lenses and prescription glasses. And I do wear prescription glasses. I mean, obviously I usually wear my contacts on camera, but like I wear those things, but I'm like, it's not even kind of related to my channel. I don't get it. I have been offered on many occasions period panties because I'm going to come on my fragrance channel and tell you about my period panties, which I mean, totally fine. Like there's a market for that. Have I watched videos about them? Yes, I have. But I am not going to talk about them on my channel because again, my channel is not about that. So yeah, I would say that's the majority of what I'm offered frequently. And if you're curious about how often as like a channel my size I get offered PR, I would say I get offered PR that is not fragrance almost once a day on average, at least like 3 to 4 times a week. And when it comes to fragrances, well, clone houses offer, it seems like at least a couple times a month. And then other ones less frequently. Like I said, really the main ones that I get now are just bottles that are from smaller like indie houses that I've purchased from before. So they have my address and they'll just send me stuff. And they don't even like say anything, it just shows up. Or they might like send me a message later say, hey, you have a package on the way, which is very, very kind. And I don't mind at all because again, these are companies that I've already purchased from. I have accepted PR a couple times from skinstore.com. And in that case, it was solely because they let me pick out fragrances. And I think I had some candles too. And this is a store that I purchase from fairly often and have for over a decade now. So it's like a store that I'm comfortable with and don't mind saying, hey, they have some good deals on this site because they do. But yeah, I think that's kind of the majority of what I get or what I accept. Occasionally get samples and stuff like that. And I'm okay with that. I actually prefer that. I would rather, for the most part, have just samples of things because a lot of times, even if I like a fragrance, it doesn't mean I like it so much that I want to add it to my collection. And of course, there's limited space. And I mean, I already have so many fragrances that to just add things because they're free is not something I'm interested in. Now, there are some bottles that I got for free that I did keep because I really like a lot and I want them in my collection. But also it's been the case where I've gotten some things where I'm like, it's fine, I like it, but I don't think I'll reach for it. In that case, it's just sitting there collecting dust. Usually what I do is send that to a friend or another fragrance YouTuber who's also a friend. And that helps me to keep things moving out of my collection that I'm not going to use. But again, I mean, I appreciate what I do get, don't get me wrong, by any means. But I find the whole world of PR and marketing for YouTube really interesting and fascinating, but mostly I find it hilarious because of some of the ridiculous things that I get offered. So anyway, that's it. Just a short video today to discuss PR in the fragrance community. I, of course, am not that big of a channel compared to several others out there, and I'm sure they get offered way more PR than I do, and that's totally fine. I do not mind at all buying my own things because also then it forces me to decide on things that I actually want and will use, and I don't like to be wasteful, says the girl with 160 bottles of perfume. Listen, I know. Do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I hope you all are having a great week. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.